Hey, how's it going? Hope all's well, and hope your guitar and music journeys are going famously. And today I have a lesson on how you can kind of take some of the things you might know already and how you can kind of expand on them, take them to the next step. I'll show you a couple easy tricks to really expand your lead guitar vocabulary and easily insert them into some simple pentatonic scales, right? So you can take this lesson, really build on it, spin on it, twist it, and make it your own, and use it as you find your own voice, in lead guitar, on the guitar, and in your improvisation and jamming. And a lot of times it's just these small little things that can click off the light bulb and make big changes and big impact in your playing. Now we're going to use a jam track in the key of A minor. And this is a really good jam track for this particular applications and concept because the chords are moving very slowly, and it's a real simple 1-4-5 12-bar minor key blues. All right, so I say this all the time. You're probably sick of me saying it, but it's so important to know the chords that you're soloing over, right? You have to know the chords. The key is only a part of it. It's really all about the chords. The chords are what's going to give you the full roadmap as far as soloing and improvisational avenues, okay? So we're in the key of A minor, and basically the chords on this track is just the one chord's an A minor 7, and the 4 is a D minor 7, and the 5 is an E minor 7. And here's a few scale suggestions. You could use over all the chords. You could use A minor pentatonic and blues. You could also use A natural minor scales, A Aeolian. And over the A minor chord, I'll even do some stuff where we're using A Dorian. That works nicely over that A minor 7th chord, and you're on that chord a lot. So a lot of guitarists, when they first start, they learn the minor pentatonic scale or the blues scale, minor pentatonic and blues scale, and that's awesome, and you're probably using that a lot. So if we play that in the basic box shape, A minor pentatonic looks like this. So the notes in that A minor pentatonic scale, it's important to know the notes in the intervals too, right? You have your root 1, which is your A, flat 3rd C, 4th D, 5th E, and flat 7 G. And then those notes just repeat. You could add that blue note in there, that flat 5, that E flat, and that scale, adding that blue note would look like this. And you always want to know where the root notes are in your scales. We have 3 A's there. Low E string, 5th fret, D string, 7th fret, high E string, 5th fret. And your blue note is that E flat is on that 6th fret of the A string. You also have it here on the 8th fret of the G string. So you always want to know where those notes are, especially the root note, because you want to resolve a lot of your licks. Circle back to that root, really drive that, A minor into the listener's ears. And if you want to see these scales diagrammed out on paper, because sometimes it really helps to see them on paper and to see the root notes kind of in black and the blue notes in blue, and it really helps tie it all together. I can really help you with that. Click on the link in the YouTube description box below, and I'll send you a killer free video lesson and ebook. The ebook has over 29 scales diagrammed out. I have all kinds of soloing strategies, lessons in it. It's really killer. I'll also pair it with a video lesson, which will build on this and really help you in ways you could easily embellish your soloing and improvisation. And I'll send both of them to you for free. The video is not on YouTube, it's extended play. The ebook is killer. Just click on that link below. So what I want to show you today is this concept of major and relative minor and how you could use that to your advantage. One way of taking maybe an arpeggio or something that and flipping it and using it in its relative minor or major, using it in another way, so you're kind of getting dual use out of it. What I mean by major and relative minor is every major scale has a relative minor scale, and they have exactly the same notes in it. Like C major has exactly the same notes in it as A minor. C major is C, D, E, F, G, A, B. A minor is A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Same exact notes, it's just starting and emphasizing a different place. Okay, C major and A minor, and every key is like that. For instance, like D major has the same exact notes as B minor. Same thing, right? And eventually, if you do this enough, you'll have them all memorized, and they'll be interchangeable. It's just how you're using them, how you're emphasizing them, what you're playing them over. Okay, so how could we use this in a very easy way to kind of double your knowledge, right? To get more out of what you're already doing. All right. Now remember, the jam track we're playing over here is in the key of A minor. But let's say you know the relative major of A minor is C major, okay? And let's say you know a C major arpeggio. Let's say you know this one, which is a 5th string root, C major 7 arpeggio. This is movable, but it's a pretty common shape. And the notes in a C major chord, or any major chord, are root 3rd and 5th. So in a C major chord, you have your root C, right? You have your major 3rd E, and you have your 5th G, C, E, and G, right? That's what makes like any C major chord, C, E, and G. And then to make it a major 7th, we add that 7th note in a C major 7 scale, that B, which resolves so nice to the root. So the intervals in a major 7th chord, 1 or root 3, 5, 7. C major 7th, C, E, G, B. All right, that's a C major 7 arpeggio, C major 7 chord. Okay, so this C major 7 arpeggio looks like this in case you don't know it. Okay, so you have C, E, G, B. Then it repeats C, E, G, B, C. Okay, and I always slide those. You can always slide that root note back a half step. That's a great way to know, a little trick, where that major 7th note is. It's always a half step behind the root, right? C, B, C. Wherever it is, C, B, C. Okay, so you're probably saying, well, C major 7 arpeggio, well, how's that going to help me? We're playing in A minor in kind of like a bluesy kind of jam. Here's how. We can easily take the major 7th arpeggio and flip it into its relative minor arpeggio just by changing that emphasis note and playing, you know, over those A minor chords. So all we have to do is, let's just take our A note here, 5th fret low E string, and add that in to that arpeggio, and you get this. And we'll start and end on the A. Not that you have to do that every time, but for instructional purposes. That gives it a total different sound. That does not sound major anymore. That sounds minor, right? Because we're starting on the A and we're ending on the A. The notes we're playing there, A, right? Same thing. C, E, right? G. So it's technically like an A minor 9 arpeggio, because we're adding that B note, which is the 2nd or 9 in the key of A minor. So it's like an A minor 9, which is awesome because that 9 is such a strong note with so much drama in minor key, right? And arpeggios like this sound nice because it's kind of like one note on one string, 2 notes, 1 note, 2 notes, 1 note, 2 notes. You could throw in C like I was doing before too, but basically it's like 1 note, 2 notes, 1 note, 2. It's a good way to remember it. If you take your major 7 arpeggio, or whatever major arpeggios you know, and you flip them over, a lot of times you'll get some killer sounding minor arpeggios that you could use in your minor jams that have that, you know, like this is taking a major 7 and making it into a minor 9 kind of thing. Not that, you know, I don't want to bog you down with the theory. I just want to get you playing, having fun, and, you know, trying some of these little hacks, little tricks, little things to expand your, you know, knowledge on the instrument. But you could take that, just like I just ran it in A minor blues or A minor pentatonic, right? Our basic, you know, box shape, because it's all right here. And you get this real bluesy, jazzy kind of sounding thing because you're playing those notes with wider intervals and you're adding in that 9, right? And you're playing that arpeggio. And obviously so much of this depends on context, right? Because you want to play, arpeggios sound best over the corresponding chords. So if you could play that over the A minor chord, and then maybe the arpeggio part, and then when it goes to the next chord, maybe that's when you're kicking into blues or minor pentatonic or Dorian or natural minor. And of course, you know, remember context in whatever jam track you're playing, because playing solo by yourself is a little bit different, because when you have the band going on, you have to keep in mind there's a bass player playing something, there might be keyboard players or a rhythm guitar player, and you have to know what's going on and what they're doing. That's why it's so important to always know the chords, for instance, right? But a lot of it is context, and what are they kind of hammering into the listener's ear as home bass, as that root, as that tonic, right? So listen, at the end of this lesson, I'm going to put the jam track on and I'll play this over it, and listen where I insert it and how it sounds and how I connect it to some of these other scales we went over. And I want you to try that. You know, grab a jam track, simple, slow moving jam track with slow moving chords, minor key is fine, and take a major arpeggio that you know and flip it to the relative minor, and, you know, emphasize the root of the chord, what you're playing, right? So I could do that same thing by flipping and playing it over the D minor chord or the E minor chord, just flipping that relative major arpeggio, right? So you could practice that and get some cool different sounds, see how you like it, put your own twist on it, and let me know. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think. Hope this lesson helps you along in your guitar journey, right? Remember, your playing is an evolution. Enjoy, keep up all that hard work on those guitars. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, because that really helps me to keep the content coming, and ring that subscription bell, and then you'll be notified when I have new lessons posted. And also click on that link in the YouTube description box below and get my killer free ebook with over 29 scales diagrammed out. Also, I'll send you a free video lesson with that on easy ways to embellish your soloing. Video lesson ebook for free, just click below. Thank you so much for checking out this lesson. Thank you so much for your support over the years and years. So appreciate it. Stay tuned, lots more great stuff coming. Keep up all that hard work on that guitar and keep having fun with it. Take care, rock on. See you in the next lesson.